Hi, welcome back to MLM for CEOs. In this segment, we are talking about bootstrapping your business, and this section is actually dedicated to the product. And I want to talk to you about the product because part of bootstrapping your business is having the right product in play. Now, it doesn't matter what product you've got, okay? I've seen MLM companies succeed on a variety of products across an entire spectrum of industries. But fundamentally, there are three kind of products that you can bring on board. You've got your digital products. That's things like training and apps or computer software or music or whatever. Maybe things like insurance policies, legal aid. So there's a whole pile of digital products that you can get out there and work with. Then you've got your physical products, and there's a range of physical products. You can go through the internet and ask for any kind of industries, and you can have a look. Every single industry you touch on will have products that you can potentially sell through multi-level marketing. And then you've got your services. So anywhere there's a service, anything from a lawn mowing service can be MLM'd. So there's 1,001 services that you could MLM. The beauty of digital products and services is that the fulfillment is quite easy. So if you, for example, have got a service that creates websites, that's pretty easy because when the person requests it, you put it onto the website developers and they just develop it. Or if it's a digital product such as an insurance policy, when the fulfillment happens, the insurance policy is delivered digitally to the client. There's no physical paperwork anymore. They sign everything online. So those are easy to deal with. Of course, physical products are a little bit more difficult because you've actually got to pick them, pack them, and ship them. So there's an entire process involved in that. And depending on what product you have, you can do an international play. If you've got a physical product with some sort of chemical makeup, you're going to have to get those products approved in various different countries, and that makes it more difficult to get into the international space. But the thing about the product, the key thing, is you have to be totally and utterly passionate about your product. If you don't love your product, there is no ways you're going to get people into your business. So being passionate about your product is absolutely crucial to your success. Now, when we started Acorn Kids, we had small kids, we had small children, and the products that we got a supplier to provide us with these products called, we call the products Acorn Kids, but we have things like star bubbles at the time, which was bubble baths with little stars in them. The kids could hunt for the stars. And we had Kaleidofoam, which was like shaving cream made from natural ingredients, but that were colored. So the children could wash themselves in red or blue or yellow or green soap. And then we had things like the Squishy Wash, which was like a slime-based thing for tactile defensive kids. So there was this whole range of children's products. And if you want to check them out, you can go to acornkids.com and you will check out all the products that we got there. But the bottom line is that they were products that I could absolutely get behind. I was totally in love with them because I watched my children play with them and I watched the amount of fun they had with the products. So it was super easy for me to tell people about those products. I was passionate about them. I loved those products. I could see the impact that they had on my kids' lives. And so it was very, very, very easy for me to talk to people about the products. The thing is, and this is the second part of this, you have got to get other people to love the product as much as you. Because remember, you will never get your business running if people are just in it for the money. The guys who come along and they're just in it for the money, they come, they take what they can get and they move on. So if you want to retain your people and you want to keep them involved in the business, you have got to teach these people to love the product as much as you do. And that is not a quick process. So when you bring somebody on board, you're going to show them your product. You're going to show them how much you love it, how passionate you are about the product. Then you're going to teach them everything they need to know to become as passionate as you about the product. And at that point, you lock them into the business. Now, they might not sell your product. That's fine. But if you do a decent job of teaching them to love your product, they will always use your product. And I've seen this happen in my own life. My kids, when they were children, used these products. And now that they're adults and they've got their own children, they're actually pulling those products into their home and they're using those products for their own children. Now, I don't own this company anymore. I haven't owned it for many, many years. but my children are still so passionate about the products that they're using them themselves. So that is a key part of bootstrapping your business, is you've got to have a product that you can be passionate about, and you've got to have a product that other people can be passionate about. So you've got to be able to teach them to love the product. Next, you've got to make sure that that product can be delivered at scale. You cannot think of your business as 10 people selling your product, because if the business goes, you could easily have 30,000 people selling your product. And you got to know that whoever's supplying your product can supply enough product to supply 30,000 people on a monthly basis. And when you sign the agreement with your suppliers, whether it's a digital product or a physical product, whatever, you've got to ascertain that this product can be delivered at scale. One of the biggest challenges that we had in Acorn Kids was when the business blushed, we had a 6-week lead time on delivery. And as soon as that delivery started to cause us problems and we couldn't supply, we saw a massive dip in the enthusiasm of our network, and we lost a whole pile of people during that time. So making sure that you can deliver at scale is critically important from before you start selling your first product. You can't start selling and then work out whether you can deliver at scale. That is not the way it works, because literally you can have 1,000 people in January in your team. In February, you can have 3,000 people. In March, you can have 15,000 people. These businesses can go vertical super quick. And if you're not prepared to deal with that scaling, then you can be in a lot of trouble and you can tank your entire business. So you've got to make sure that the product can be delivered at scale. And then you've got to make sure that you've got a secure supplier. One of the things that happened to us is when the suppliers saw this business taking off and realized they were our only supplier, they decided to just jack the prices up, and they doubled the price on me, literally overnight. I went into order. I said to the guy, I'm under real stress. The business is growing out of all proportion. He said, yes, I can see you're making too much money. I'm doubling my price. And he literally doubled the price there and then on me. And nothing I said to him made him change his mind, and he nearly tanked our business. Fortunately, I knew somebody else in the industry who could reformulate all the products, and we got all the products reformulated, and we then started selling them again with the new formula. But that brought me inches away from being tanked and from the business closing down. So having secure supply is critically important, and I recommend you get contracts in place to make sure that people are not going to screw you in terms of pricing and supply. And then, of course, if the person cannot get things like raw materials, or they have to wait 6 months for the raw materials to come in from overseas because they're imported and they don't have enough on hand, that is extremely risky. Because if they literally can't make your product without either flying the products, the raws in, or getting the raws with long lead times, that creates a real problem. And then you need to try and negotiate short lead times with your supplier. So if you can get a 1 week or 2 week turnaround, you can manage your cash flow very carefully, because you are getting more money in than you're spending, and you can literally bootstrap your business out of cash flow. So I say to all of my clients, first prize is get a digital product that you can just scale infinitely because it's digital and you can just deliver it 1 million times. Second prize is, if you've got a physical product, make sure you've got very short lead times negotiated with your suppliers. And then a big thing with a physical product where there's an outlay, try and negotiate 30 days on invoice. So if you can get a 30-day on invoice, that gives you time to sell the product. Because remember, in MLM, you sell the product, you get the money before you deliver the product. So you can actually pull in the cash that you need to pay your supplier purely by trading the money loose with the product you got on your floor. And if you've got a 30-day on invoice, that means you've got 60 days to pay the client. You get delivered in January, you get invoiced at the end of January, you have to pay in February. By the end of February, you pay them. Gives you 60 days more or less to deal with the cash flow, to generate the cash flow that you need. So just to recap on the product side, get a product you absolutely love, that you're passionate about, that you really think people will love. Then teach people how to love it as much as you do. Your network needs to be completely and utterly sold on your product. Then make sure you can deliver at scale. Make sure that you've got a secure supply. Make sure that they can supply you at short notice. Make sure that the pricing is secure, that people can't actually just jack the price up on you, and that contracts are in place to that effect. And then try and get the guys to give you a 30 or 90-day payment plan. If you can get all of that right, then that is step one on bootstrapping your business. And literally, guys, if you don't have this kind of product, if this is not the picture that you've got in your product, if you've got any product and you think you can go to market with any garbage, I promise you, you are destined to fail. You have to have an epic product to make this business succeed. So my recommendation is go through your product, make sure it is what I'm suggesting, and if it's not, find another product. There's a bazillion products out there. There's loads of people who've got products that they want to sell, that they can't move, that they need physical route to market. Speak to, just speak in any industry. Go and talk to anybody in any industry, and you'll find that they've got products that you could fall in love with, that will move, and that they can provide you at scale and at reasonable prices. Okay, that's my second section on this bootstrapping your business. If you like what you're hearing, please remember to like us, follow us on Facebook, click that notification bell, subscribe to our channel, all of that good stuff. When you do that, it really helps our channel to grow, and we're obviously wanting to do as much of this kind of thing as possible to help you guys succeed in the business. Next, I'll be seeing you and we'll be discussing the compensation plan.